in 2012, you did the country switch. You became the lady you are today. 2015, Relieve. Sorry, I know how to sit. And then in 2018, Demons. But here's something that I was going through your list on Spotify of your most popular songs. First one, I'm sure you know, Flipflops and White Claws. Most listened to. With You Whiskey, which Josh and I just listened to before you got on. Bottom of the Bottle would be number 3. And then number 4 is Hell on High Heels. And this tells me something about country music fans in that alcohol sells more than sex.
Yeah. When it comes to country, woo!
I thought sex would rule in all categories, but I'm like, no,
Right?
that's drinking. That's drinking.
Yep. It's just
Hell
a
on High Heels
trend.
isn't necessarily sex. So that brings my next question to you. I am a bourbon fan. What is your favorite whiskey?
Oh, okay. I favorite whiskey, Gibson. I like
Okay.
Gibsons. And Crown Royale. I mean,
Crown's very it's the
Crown.
most commercial that I drink, but it's delicious.
Yeah, but it's good. Yeah, it always kind of does the trick. Whenever I go, I've been to Nashville so many times to get, well, we went to Lynchburg and we would get the Jack Daniels
Got it. Well, if
at the
you have
distillery
to
there. And
at least once.
at least once. Yeah, we did.
At least.
And it was Brooks and Dunn, their winery. Um, because I love wine as well. I mean, I'm a white wine drinker mostly.
Oh, I wish I liked
And
wine. I get a headache.
oh, and see, that's the thing, like, too, like, if I stray away from it, then and I go back to it, then I'll get a headache.
I
But,
just if I have a half of a small glass, I'm guaranteed a headache, or
oh,
even champagne. Yeah,
really?
for
The
whatever it is,
phosphates or something?
phosphates possibly. I've had some that they no phosphates or no additional phosphates, or
And it's
and
still
it just happens. It also used to happen a lot with the like Mike's White or Mike's Hard Lemonade.
oh, yeah.
Those types of malts that were
Sugar,
like highly
maybe?
clarified. Yeah, it could
Yeah,
be.
maybe it's the
They drank a
sugar.
lot of beer. That's a lot of
Yeah,
sugars. Anyway,
yeah.
nobody wants our my medical diagnosis. Uh, speaking of whiskey, your newest single is Whiskey Rattle, and I want
Yeah,
to know what inspired it. Did you see the segue there? Did
awesome.
you see how I got there?
Awesome, yeah, you're great.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I was
it
curious, what inspired
that's a
Whiskey Rattle
great
for you?
yeah, that's a great
Interesting
question because
lyrics, by the way.
it was thank you. It was inspired by a real life story. My
Okay.
friend, one of my friends, um, he is an amazing he owns businesses here and he builds houses. His favorite drink is whiskey and water with, like, lots of ice, and I think does he like lemon in it? I can't remember. But,
Say no. Say no.
say no, I know, I love
No
lemon
lemon.
and everything, but,
I'm fine with
um
ice or water in your whiskey, but there you go.
yeah, so and I always was like, "Okay, wow." So it's literally like a glass of whiskey with lots of ice, chucked full of ice and water, and then we would have our drinks, and I played for a bunch of his, parties, his employees and stuff, like, my band and I would play these shows, every year, summer at his house, and he said it once, he's like, "Brie, what about this? Whiskey Rattle." Like, why can't you like, why don't you come up with a song that's called Whiskey Rattle? Because he's like, "Because I've been thinking about this, and I love to drink, I love my whiskey. Well, when I'm drinking whiskey, all night, and then I start to get this rattle in my voice. It's like raspy." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what whiskey does, right? Gives you that nice raw rasp." He goes, "Yeah, but I think to me, it's more like a rattle. It's like when I talk and then it kind of rattles after." So that, I mean, that was years ago when he said that to me, but it always stuck in my head
And now
as
you
like a great kind of, and I like to write a lot of my songs beginning with the titles. Like, what would be a rockin' title? Like a cool
okay.
title that people would be like, "Oh, okay, maybe we should listen to that song, like Whiskey Rattle." And for example, like the first verse of Hell on High Heels is my ex-boyfriends say I'm crazy. So I'm always trying to like come up with like
At
a really
first.
cool, enticing, engaging set of of words and phrases in order to get the listener
Hey, that's how
engaged.
you sell a book. Why wouldn't it be how you sell a song?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I kept that idea with me all these years, and then the last time I went to Nashville, which was just last summer, to record, which is what I do every year, I was like, "You know what? Let's write this song," and I sat down, and it did come really fast. I had trouble making it a little bit longer, like, I wanted it to be a little bit longer, but 'cause it's like a 2-minute song, it's like 2:50, I think, which is perfect for radio. I mean, they
Mhm.
always want the songs to be shorter, but it's kind of like a party song. I wanted, my fans and my friends and my supporters to have the chance to really have fun with it and, like, create their own little dances if they wanted
Yeah.
to, and post them on TikTok and stuff.
Move the feet.
Yep, do the two-step.
Do it. I learned how to two-step. I was taught how to.
Did
That's
you?
one of the few dances I could possibly do, and there's no excuse not to. That was how I was
Yep,
in a country bar, and a lady walked up and asked me to dance. I don't know how to. She's like, "Yes, you do. Get up here." Like, it was
just
that
do it.
she embarrassed me into, "Oh, that's okay, that I could do that, sure." Can you remember this phrase? Okay.
Yeah.
And everybody watching this knows the phrase. Fast, fast, quick, or quick,
Oh,
quick,
yeah.
slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow,
It
or
was a
similar.
kickball turn. Kickball
No, I would have broken my neck. You kidding me?
or is it chain ball, ball chain? I can't remember. I did some dance lessons too.
It's just something that's never been in me.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started dating my wife, we'd go to dance clubs, and I just would try at a song I liked and knew. I'd even try getting dance for, and she's like, "Just stop doing that with your hands." I'm like, "Then what do I do with my?" She's like, "Just stop." Like, my wife, who
Just
wanted me to dance in the worst way, was just like, "Just stop. You can't do
just
this.
put your hands down.
This isn't your thing." I didn't know. I was like,
That's so funny.
uh,
What did I just say?
"Hey, I wanna maybe help you here. When you are in Nashville, what is your favorite bar? Let's get you free
Ooh,
drinks. Free drinks from your favorite
free
bar.
drink. I love Tootsie's. That's like the one of the
Tootsie's
biggest one. That's one of the
in Nashville.
popularest ones, but yeah, Tootsie's in it kinda I love it because it's kind of like a hole in the wall, but once you go in, there's like 3 levels, so you can kinda keep walking back and then, like, climbing the stairs, and then there's a rooftop patio, and they always have, like, 3 different sections of music as well, so
Oh,
there's
beautiful.
always, like,
If you don't like it, go
amazing.
upstairs.
Yeah, just move to a different room, you know? And what's another one? When I go honky tonking in Broadway, which is what I love to do that. I love Miranda Lambert's bar. Always has good live entertainment. And I go to Mellow Mushroom for their pizza because I love pizza and it's so good.
Pizza's Pizza is proof that we are an evolved
Pizza,
species.
pizza is life.
Pizza's just
It's
wonderful.
always good, right?
I have pizza every Friday. It is our Friday. We're done with work. Let's treat ourselves to something awesome meal. That's what
Good
pizza
for
is. Like,
you.
we can have anything. We're adults. We
Yep.
we make the shopping list. Like, we can do whatever we want. We can go. We can
Yeah,
go anywhere. We get pizza, and it's awesome.
it's
Uh,
wonderful. I
that's how
mean, you
good
got
pizza
you
is.
got your favorite pizza place, free go for it. And mine is like a little bit it's about 40-minute drive from here. So I always have to get like Pizza Hut or something that's around here,
That's
but
a problem with living in the country.
yeah,
Uh,
that's, when you're rural. Yeah.
I grew up near a small town. I say near because I wasn't in that small. It was a small town, but they somehow had 4 independent pizza places, and 3 of them were pretty good.
Wow.
Uh, and it's also, I think, the further you get away from Pittsburgh, the harder it is. From New York, let's say New York's the center of it. It's harder to find
Yeah.
a good independent pizza place. And then you have Chicago area where they have some, but you got
Yeah.
to afford it. It's just chain after chain and strip mall after strip mall. It's hard
Oh,
to find. I'm in a good pizza world
yeah, like
here near Pittsburgh.
okay, wow, that's great to know. I'm definitely
I have at
gonna
least 14 right now that would deliver to me,
wow, and that are
independent
good.
or very small chain. I
That's
don't know about
also
good.
good.
There's some real crap ones. Uh,
Right. I love the Napoleon types, like the traditional, like, wood fire pizza, that's my favorite.
is
So,
that the one with the liquid crust? Here, there's a
nope.
Canadian pizza where you pour
Mm,
the crust.
No, no, this would be dough, but it's cooked in, like, a wood fire oven with, like, flames,
Okay, yeah.
and, um yes, but they don't have any, like, they have wood-fired pizza places in the city, but here it's more just like Pizza Hut, pizza. You know? Oh, there's a really good
Uh,
mom and pop one here. It's called Spartan Pizza. It's so good, and they do, like, stuffed crust and really good wings, so
don't let them go away. Keep them
yeah,
forever. Like Pizza
right?
Hut here in the States is just about over, I think. We went to one recently just to take a picture in case we can never go back.
Aw,
I don't like pizza. My wife does. It's a point of contention in our house. It's like mayonnaise versus a Miracle Whip.
really?
Um, but thankfully we agree on that one so we could stay married.
Yeah.
You can't have a mayonnaise Miracle Whip house. It just doesn't work.
You know what? That's funny because my husband's like, he loves mayonnaise, but I mean, I don't really care, but m I'm used to getting Miracle Whip. My mom kind of raised
Guys,
us on that.
listen, give me a call when you need some counseling. I'll fix you guys up. You will have to give up Miracle Whip. Sorry.
Awesome,
I'm
good
here
to
for you.
know.
Yeah, no, I'm
Thank
here for you.
you.
I'm here for you. I'll help you get through this. I did want to know, back on topic, for you, what was your easiest album to complete, and what was your hardest album to complete, and why?
Oh, that's really great. I gotta say the hardest album to complete for me was, my album's called Somewhere to Go. Because it was right at the point that decided to switch people I was working with. I totally left the company that I was in and started doing everything on my own, even if I had to go to the bars and play till 3 a.m. On my own, like, I was willing to do that, and so I started working with a producer, a Canadian kind of like a Canadian icon. He was the lead guitarist of the band called Prairie Oyster from Canada, and he working with him it was definitely different experience than I expected it to be. He's an amazing guitar player, and I think it was more like recording recording live off the floor, like, kind of, like, feeling it wasn't like I was going into the studio every day and recording harmonies and, like,
The same
thinking
thing,
of
but slightly
yeah, it
different.
was
Yeah.
yeah, he just kind of really took over. Even the chord progressions to the songs, like, he would write different ones. So it was really different for me to not have the same kind of control that I used to have, like, the creative control. And it was a total different sound that I was used to. We didn't lay heavy on the reverb, which I love, for as being a female vocalist. I love my
Vocalist, yeah,
reverb.
I know, but yeah, I think for me, I like it when I have less reverb on the vocals because then I could really get to know
'Cause
them.
then you
I don't
can
know. I know
really
that makes no
hear.
sense. Like it seems like when I hear somebody, I can almost. This is not the right phrasing. There's nothing sensible about this. I can map their mouth, their vocal
Y
chambers. Like they have
yeah,
a deep voice, they have a round voice, and like I
yeah,
know it sounds weird, but like that's what I like about the less effects. But I also get when it's awesome,
yeah, yeah,
especially for
and
me
that's
because I suck. You know?
no, that's because there are totally different, like, all kinds of different places where the voice resonates,
Yeah,
and it is hard to tell, like, when certain people are using their mixed voice, when they're using their chest voice, or when they're using their head voice. Like, everyone's different, and because you have that intensity, you're looking for that stuff. That's cool. That's like what a good producer or director would do.
I did that
Um,
with you when I was listening to you because I heard different eras or different songs with different intentions, and I was doing my
mm.
mouth like, "Oh, this is very different," and like you do mix it up vocally, and I was
Yeah,
picking that up.
I've evolved so much around, in the even now today where when I'm just, like, driving and I'm singing, I'm just like, "God, that note, for me, it's up here," whereas, like, I felt like it was supposed to come from here, and I was just supposed to, like, reach for it from my chest. But anyway, you get into talking and all about all that stuff, and it's its own little animal for sure, and because you've had that training,
Yeah, but
um
let's get back to what the album
but yeah, so that was the
difficulty level for you.
hardest.
Yeah.
That's the hardest one I did, and it's because it was the most out of my comfort zone. And then I'll say the easiest one that I've done will have to be Brie Leave. Hashtag Brie Leave is what it's called. Um,
Oh, I missed the hashtag. I'm sorry.
it's though that's all good. It's, it's kind of the trend, right? So we kind of went with that hashtag, and we went with it because also the radio station in my hometown and in um the whole lot of them, so the Rogers country radio stations in Canada were really supportive with my music. They were playing it I released my first song, Honey, and I think it started on the chart, on the Billboard charts, and then there was With You Whiskey, but these were all songs that I had, like, total 100% control over. Like, I was like, "Okay, now I'm the producer. I'm gonna go to Nashville, and I'm gonna work with these amazing musicians, and they're gonna treat me like a real professional client as I am. There's gonna be no egos. There's gonna be, I just and that's what happened. I just had total control, and I said, I was allowed to put my whole passion into it, like, "Oh, I wanna write a song like this," and then show it to them, and then they listen to my song that I wrote, and then they totally turn it into something that's just like, "How did that happen?" So, I would say that once I started going to Nashville, and that was the first album I recorded in Nashville, that's when it got a lot easier.
So your big advice to anybody who really wants to take to the next step is you have to go where it's done.
Just yeah, go where is time is money, and like, they're a well-oiled machine in Nashville. So they're
But
gonna
yeah.
'cause here in Canada, I'm more of a bigger fish than I am in Nashville. In Nashville, I'm like this little small fish, and they're just wanting to do my stuff right the way I want it, the way what I'm paying for, and then move on to the next artist because
Sure.
there's that many. Go to where and also in Canada, the pricing in my experience, I've spent so much money recording in Canada as opposed like, so much more money in Canada than I have recording in Nashville. So, for
This is where I
example
have to make that joke, but
yeah.
it's Canadian money. But anyway, sorry.
It's true. It's true, but
I have
but
to. I'm a
now
hack. I have to throw it out there.
and I'll tell you right now that I love that because I get paid. So when I get my royalties every month, they come from Sound Exchange, which is an American organization. So everything that I get, I know I'm going to get a certain amount American, and then it just increases because it comes through as Canadian when they give it. So just
Don't
like
tell them. They'll figure that out and find another way to screw the art. No.
yeah. So, I mean, and because I don't have to pay any percentages to anyone else, like, I own
Yeah.
everything on my own, and I write a lot of my own songs, that's how I've made it work for me.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's how I'm
I
able to
love it.
feed my family, yeah.
Yeah. Static. The question I have for you is how do what's it like hearing stories about how your lyrics, your words have changed lives?